Star Wars is technically fantasy. I don't know, like, because sci-fi is supposed to take place in the future.
Is that the qualifications?
Well, I
Are you
learned
going to
this.
split pubes on that?
I went to a video store when I was little, and I remember seeing, like, looking for Star Wars and having a hard time finding it. I had to go from sci-fi to fantasy because they actually had it in the right section.
Oh.
I'm furious.
Why?
It doesn't
Why?
matter.
It's dumb. It's sci-fi.
It's splitting hairs.
Clearly sci-fi.
Yeah.
It's an archaic definition of sci-fi.
Yeah.
All right,
It's
sci-fi.
cutting hair.
Sci-fi and fantasy. We're splitting pubes on the big shit here, but the important thing to remember is it is episode 6. Episode 6 of Dance Shark. We've done it for this long.
Revenge.
No.
Revenge of the
I'm gonna-
What's the sixth? What is the sixth one?
Revenge of the Claw.
There you go.
Revenge of the Claw. I'm Matt Edwards. With me is Stephen Clem.
Yo.
Also over there is Duane Anderson.
Yo.
We're about to clack some claws.
Can't tell
and,
who was who. Who was who? No one knows.
Yeah, I think it was you twice.
It was. Dwayne's here in spirit.
Yo, yo.
What up?
Steven's here 4 times.
All right, it's time to crack a claw if you're drinking with us at home, which you should be. Tell your boss to suck it. You're listening to Dance Shark. We're cracking claws in 3, 2, 1. Oh, I can taste it. I can feel it in my soul.
Ooh, any flavor but ruby grapefruit.
Oh, ruby grapefruit's the king of fruits. It's the king of colors.
They're all just fine flavors.
They're all. I think there is something a little bit worse about ruby grapefruit.
What sound I make when I'm drinking a ruby grapefruit? Oh.
A grapefruit?
It's already getting to me. That's how
can
gone
tell.
I am.
You
Grapefruit.
sound.
Woo!
I can.
That's gross.
You're that dude. You're that motherfucking dude.
Oh, the gold spoon
Yeah,
ice
with the
cream
gold
taster.
spoon, and he's like, you turn the spoon
Vanilla.
upside down.
A little bit of cream.
Cream. Sweeteners. Get it over all 9,000 taste buds.
I haven't spent a lot of time in ice cream shops, so I'm a bit lost.
Yeah, what happened to ice
what do you-
cream?
What do you mean? You think that we were like, oh yeah, hey, remember down at DQ the other day? Remember at Baskin Robbins, Matt, when we saw that guy trying? No,
They don't let you try things at DQ. I've been to DQ.
it was a bad first example, but I brought it back with Baskin Robbins.
Okay.
I want to try your Blizzard. You should put like a shirt on before you start demanding shit from Dairy Queen.
Don't say you, as it that means like not like
That's
a collective.
your thing.
That is you.
Y'all.
That's your thing.
Every one of us who is guilty of yelling at a high schooler at 10:30 at night to try their Blizzards from the drive-thru, put a shirt on. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like that's not even a one-time
Me,
instance.
Stephen, Duane, all our listeners, everyone has done it. So right
I don't even like taking my shirt off at the pool.
I like you taking your shirt off at the pool. I'm not taking mine off, but I'll take yours off at the pool.
I mean, I do it. I'm not going to be the weird guy that still has a shirt on, but I don't like it.
No.
They're called fat.
No.
Okay, just be polite. That's what
The
we
thing
do.
is, what's funny is it's like, I feel like this is probably a beaten to death topic, but if you're a fat guy and you leave your shirt on at the pool, it draws my attention to you immediately. And I go, there's the fat kid.
Yeah, and that's like the
There's the
most
fat
attention
guy.
they get. That's why they do it. And they
But if
got
someone just-
eyes on them.
If someone just has their shirt off, I don't, even if they're a fat dude or woman, I don't think about it.
Yeah, and then they have to go back to their life of being invisible. Okay, and no one wants that.
When was the last
No
time
fat guy wants that.
any of us went to a pool?
I'm basing these off of strictly grade school
Yeah.
experiences.
I spent
Get your $1.50 and
spent
go
a few
down to
nights-
the...
Oh, no. Field trips only. You think I went to the field trips only to splash?
I went to the pool a lot because for my mom it was a babysitter. You ever spend 9.5 hours in a swimming pool?
Oh.
It was before they put the roof on Willamette Lane. Worst sunburn of my life.
After an hour and a half, your eyes start to feel gross.
Do we really want to whip right into childhood trauma for you, Matt? Like, is that where we want to take this
It's almost
immediately?
impossible to avoid with me. My childhood was just a roller coaster of traumas.
Trauma.
Traumas and ghost events.
Ghost
Ghost event?
Ghost
Yeah,
events.
30% haunted.
What do you mean?
Oh, dude, no. I was talking to my dad earlier today, because I've been listening to a lot of like paranormal shit because whatever, it passes a work day. And then I started thinking back on stories my dad told me. So I fucking called him the other day and I'm like, hey, didn't you tell me a story of like a stealth helicopter sometime? And he's like, probably wasn't a helicopter. I'm like, what happened? He's like, well, it was probably 89, 90. I don't know if you were born. I was up at grandma's house. It was my grandma, his mom.
Okay.
And I saw the moon, but I knew the moon was behind the tree. I don't know why I'm giving my dad a southern accent.
Keep it going.
I know what your dad sounds
no,
like.
I know
It's
your dad
nothing
sounds
like this,
too.
but I like
I saw the
voice.
moon.
Exactly.
It looked like the moon was falling, but I knew it was behind me, and then it split into two. So I was standing there in the tree line, and I backed into it, and it came towards me, and I felt a force. Felt like standing underneath a helicopter. I felt the rotor wash, but it was totally silent. And these two giant balls of light passed overhead,
Next thing
and it disappeared over the horizon.
I had a son.
God, he is not something. I can't not do that voice.
That's a bonkers story.
That was the first one.
And here's the thing is, like, you're telling me that story, and, like, I know your dad, so I'm like, oh, shit, that's for real. Most people hear that, and they're like, yeah, fucking bullshit. But I actually know your dad, and that's not a thing your dad would say.
No, I don't. I'm pretty sure he has seen Bigfoot like 5 times, but he will not say the words. He told me another story where he saw this big red.
You say the words that make it real.
He said this big
you
red.
say it 3.
He watched
you
a
only
pair
get
of
3,
eyes.
and then
You
he
only get
shows
3,
up.
and then he shows up.
And I lost count, so I don't know.
I got one more.
I'm just under the impression.
I don't know.
I
don't know how many times I've said it. I'm just backing out now. If it's the 3rd time, we're all
Just
dead.
busts into his retirement home, kicks him out of his chair right out the window.
Yeah, that's it. He
I haven't
waits.
said it in 40 years. It was the 3rd
That
time.
was the 3rd time. It's Kool-Aid Man kicks the fucking wall open. But it's
like
just
he has friends. Bigfoot rolls around in a posse.
There's more, just like a bunch of them.
Big feet.
Well, I thought the Kool-Aid Man was kicking him. Oh, he kicked it in
I
like
meant Kool-Aid Man style.
Kool-Aid Man kicks in the door and then Bigfoot comes in.
Yeah, he's in here.
The Kool-Aid Man's like,
There he is.
get on in here, Bigfoot.
Take him out.
Drink from my head to replenish your fluids when you're done.
I'm gonna have a nightmare about that tonight. But he has lots of fucked up stories that until I started jokingly giving a shit about Bigfoot, I didn't realize he was almost assuredly telling me a bunch of Bigfoot stories.
Yeah, as a kid, like, you don't really click. It doesn't really click.
Yeah, him and my uncle Randy were both there for this one. They said they saw this big pair of eyes bounding across the road by the orchard, and there's this big fence that's 5 or 6 foot high. And they just said they watched this pair of eyes kind of just step on over it, keep on going through the garden, and disappear into the woods. I thought that was fucked. There was another one where like him and my aunt were driving with some friends in this big old 70s fucking beater. And they said they saw something come out of the woods and it slammed into the back of the car and it spun the car almost all the way around.
And this wasn't like an elk,
No, because I was
like
back,
a big old deer.
I was with my dad in a Volkswagen when we got hit by a deer. Like it rammed into the side of us and it was just like, tunk, deer fell over.
You sure it wasn't just like a heavy-set furry man who was
That
taking
is
a nap?
entirely possible. My uncle did live there at the time.
He woke up from like a drunken stupor and just launched himself into the road.
You know what? Yeah, I don't believe that story now. Bigfoot's fake. Every Bigfoot story is my Uncle Gizbo.
What?
His name? Well, okay, yeah. I also
what?
haven't figured this out. His name is Gideon, but for some reason, the contraction we came up with was Gizbo. So he's my Uncle Gizbo.
That's
he has
hilarious.
a giant beard. He's like 400 pounds now.
Oh, that's too big.
Yeah, he's just a titan of a man with a third of the brain. Sorry, Gizbo, I love you. Yeah, right.
Do you think? Wait.
He's not going to listen to this. He doesn't
No, I was going to say
understand
you have to learn how to
podcast
use the
work.
internet.
Yeah.
One time,
He's in a
get on
tree
the
right
grid.
now.
that's how you get on the grid. One time, you've told me stories about Gizbo before. You actually were real hammered one night, and we were in the living room, and you told me a story about Gizbo, and I laughed really hard at it. And then you stopped, and looked at me so dead serious and you went, "I'm glad my life's a joke to you." And he walked off, and I was like, "Was this not a funny story?" It was the alcohol. I think you had drank a lot.
I'm glad it was a joke.
And then I think it was the natural wave of alcohol where it's sad and happy. And I think you just hit a low moment right that moment. It was a funny story.
Now, as an adult, I've kind of embraced the insanity of my family's stories. And so I'm fine with it. I know we're a weird line of poor white trash mountain people. And it just makes for good stories. So I tell them.
My mom always told me she was a mountain person because she grew up on a mountain as well.
I think that actually counts.
I was going to say, I think that's the qualifications of a mountain person.
Did you grow up on a mountain?
Yeah.
She actually had jokes about it. She'd say, you know the difference between a hill person and a mountain person? About 1,000 feet.
She shouldn't have said that, Duane. She should not have said that.
You know how hard I laughed?
Was it that hard?
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Because I was like, Mom, nobody tells that joke.
No, you didn't. You made me Jim Halpert the camera real hard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, The Office.
From The Office. It's an American sitcom.
Yeah, Ricky Gervais.
He plays,
Creed.
Yeah. Creed Bratton, based off a real character who's based off of Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, they make boxes or some shit.
You've gone off the rails.
I'm not going to have you sit here and shit.
Yeah. First of all, you tell a terrible joke.
What's that? They always say? They always say something like, "It's all good. Ship it."
That sounds exactly like what they said on The Office, hence the shirt I'm wearing that says that.
Matt is wearing a shirt that says, "It's all good."
Yeah, he's a big Office fan.
It is all good, so you should ship
and it's got a picture of like an ambiguous looking old man with a Red Sox shirt. He's just the guy. He's
Joe.
He looks like a Joe.
He has a name. It's Joe. Okay.
What is it?
All right.
Tell me
the story about this Jason character on your shirt.
Because this shirt is just a puzzle to everyone who has seen it. It's now the 5th time I've had to explain it. I had to explain it to people I worked with.
Well, you don't wear the shirt unless you want to
I
explain it.
just got the shirt. Okay.
If you wear the shirt, you've got to be ready to explain it.
You want to explain it.
I want to just have a shirt that wasn't dirty right now.
That's a first. Good for you, though.
All right.
Actually, you know what? Hey, good for you, man. That you're wearing a nice, clean shirt. I'm proud of you.
Moving on up.
Moving on up.
To the sump up.
Is that an actual song?
Yeah. Wasn't that the theme from the Jeffersons?
I don't know.
Was that the
Jeffersons?
Where they like flew around in the spaceship? The cartoon?
Oh, no, that's the Jettersons.
What's the difference?
They had the little dog, Elmore, and then there was a woman who took a bunch of money from a guy.
And there was the dude with the shaggy hair that talked to the dog.
He made bolts or something. I don't know.
Drove around in a van.
They solved mysteries, and they starred in there was also like a separate thing that was their TV show, because they did a show about tools. It's called like Space Tools Today.
Oh, the one with Alf in it.
Yeah, he always looked over the fence.
Yeah, Alf was always looking over the fence. And
we're the worst.
He's looking over. Alf would look over the fence. I remember specifically, and he'd be like, "Did I do
you guys
that?
want some pogs?"
What a mess of
bang, zoom, straight to the moon.
Did he say that? I didn't know.
No, different show.
This was a giant
I continued
mess.
the joke.
This was a giant mess of 90s mashups. We went through like 7 or 8 shows, I'm sure of it.
Freakazoid.
Yep. Now you're just yelling references.
I didn't yell.
What's the deal with... I had to throw that in there.
All right.
I didn't have to. I'm going to be honest, though. I've lost interest in the shirt story.
Well, you have. So I don't care. I'm going to tell it for Duane.
Do we really have to tell
it?
I have to tell it to Duane. Duane, it's this shirt. This shirt. Look at it with its words. It said it's all good. Ship it. All right. It features a man named Joe.
Named Jason.
Now, I think my boss probably got drunk or something some night. He
playing
ordered a
Joe?
bunch of shirts.
Jason Bourne.
And the shirts came in over this previous weekend, and he brought the box in on Monday. Also, first thing Monday morning, we had an email that Joe had been fired. So now we've just been sitting on a case of shirts with Joe and a made-up catchphrase that it's probably inappropriate to wear for a couple of
Wildly
weeks.
Inappropriate.
But
To wear it at all
it's
ever again.
It's also the most funny now.
You guys
like
should
it.
all go to your next meeting all wearing it.
I really want to.
And then make a meme out of that.
I gotta find someone who knows him at work so we can get one of these to him. So
What do you
Joe
mean,
can wear
someone
his
at
own.
work that knows him? Did no
and,
one
like,
at
knows
work
where he lives.
Oh, I thought you meant like you like no
They
one
like
at
knew
work.
him as a friend or something.
Oh, I don't. He doesn't look likable. I don't think people liked him.
Joe's a sweet man.
Was he?
Yeah, he's great. I'm not gonna say was because I think he's still alive.
Well, you know, man.
I don't know. I haven't seen
know,
him in
man?
a week.
All right, dude. It's all good. Ship it.
Okay, all right. It's my new catchphrase. Hashtag ship it.
Send that over. Send us an email at geocities.danceshark.gov. Hashtag ship it.
Yeah, do that. Do that and tell us what kind of reply you get because I really want to know.
Someone has that. Someone has that GeoCities account. You know, I've actually been kind of stuck on something since we brought it up earlier. What do you think it feels like for the Kool-Aid Man for someone to like? He's just a big pitcher.
Yeah.
What if someone large just drank from him? Like, what do you think that feels like?
All that liquid's his brains.
Imagine it-
Excruciating pain.
I would imagine it's like losing your blood.
It's an open container, though. His
Yeah.
head is an open container.
Yeah, but it's still the blood's still in there. You can have a cut on your body, and if the blood's not coming out, you still have that
Yeah.
much blood.
Not all animals have normal veins. Some of them just kind of spray blood around their body. That's what's going on with the Kool-Aid Man.
But he's just an open pitcher of blood. So you're saying this child fucking this representation, what would you call this thing?
Mascot.
Mascot, thank you.
yeah.
Mascot for a beloved child's drink is just a container full of blood? His life force?
I'm saying we as adults have already read too much into it. It's a fun doodle.
I've been really stuck on it. I don't think I read
I
too
don't
much
know
into
why
it.
you're
I haven't
How
stopped.
come his eyes are just pupils?
I've actually honestly What? That's another solid question. Do you see how many questions are brought up from this? I'm gonna be honest. I was
Who's strong enough to lift that man? Why does he even have a handle?
Bigfoot.
I don't know, Duane.
Bigfoot.
No one is.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot's a Kool-Aid kid. No
Bigfoot.
Sunny D in that household.
Jesus Christ. This is where we're at now.
It is. Honestly,
If it was my household, it would be a Kool-Aid household, but not enough sugar in it, so it doesn't taste very good.
what? No, and actually anything. I think adding sugar to it at all is gross. I think it's right out of the packet's the best flavor.
Just pure sour.
right out of the packet, it's the best tasting.
Also, Sunny D.
Did you also like mutilate small animals as a child?
I
or-
used to, yeah.
Oh, okay. This
Not
is making
mutilate,
sense.
Not mutilate, but I've
You piece them. Not like a bunch, though. Just enough to pique your curiosity.
Okay, first of all, I have to, for the sake of being recorded, I have to deny it. And I've never killed an animal. Okay? But my brother has said when I was a kid, I had some very serial killer like tendencies. Okay? That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
I think all of us.
Like he'd wake up and you're just in his room with a hammer. Oh.
I think all of us fit at least one corner of the dark triad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one are you?
Started fires a lot.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, that's like the kind that doesn't do well in school.
Yeah, you're also right.
But you did well in school.
I became friends with my teachers, and I got a lot of leniency.
Also, you're
It
smart.
also gave me a bit of leniency, just being friends with you.
I got an aura of friendliness.
An aura of you'll get burnt if you cross me.
Yeah, I'll burn a motherfucker. I mean,
And
that's
you
true.
had that vibe in high school that it's like, be friends with me, or it's gonna be not fun for you.
Look how many friends I have.
You did have a lot.
You have one friend right at this table.
You have 1.5 friends at this table. You have me, a full-size man, and then you have your half friend over here, Duane.
I've got a full friend and just a leg.
Yeah.
I think.
I haven't seen a leg.
I only look.
can't confirm
I only
it.
look normal size because of movie magic. I'm on a box right now.
Yeah,
Green
it's- yeah.
screen.
We dug a little pit under Steven and Matt.
Tom Cruise style, like an interview with a vampire.
It's like
Full circle.
It's like
to
how-
the first episode. Look at that. 6 episodes in, and we're doing callbacks. We're the next Family Guy. You remember that time in episode 1?
We're gonna need a cutaway guy.
Remember that time when
You're a part of the. You'll be the cutaway guy. That'll be. Like
don't wanna volunteer for
You're
that.
part of the triad.
We're doing a clip show now. Is that what this is?
Take a look at this wacky clip.
My favorite fucking thing though was the Clerks animated series. Episode 2 was a clip episode of shit from episode 1.
That's
wasn't-
lazy.
Yeah, wasn't there?
That's just lazy.
Wasn't there only like 2 episodes?
There was a handful. I don't know if it was enough to be like a full. It was like 6. Or
It got
something.
canceled before the season.
People didn't
ended.
get it.
I think
It was bad.
Yeah, you didn't get it.
It was a really bad show.
You're a member of
It
people.
still is.
And you didn't get it.
They
I didn't-
play it every now and then, and if you watch it, it's really bad.
I can almost guarantee
Jay and
it's bad.
Silent Bob are selling like fireworks.
I bet it's bad. I can guess it's bad.
It's fucking horrible.
I feel like the next step for us is just to print transcripts of the earlier episodes and then read them during the podcast. So this funny moment from episode 2,
I squeezed over my bed and I moved a Duke into it. I knew my mom who would be mad. So that then I put it into the washing machine. Wait.
was this like Google Translate? Did we have Siri like fucking listen to an episode and replay it back to it?
That's just Matt's native reading voice.
Was it? I'd like it if it was Siri reading it back to us. Or Alexa, one of them. One of those.
Why can't they just come up with a different voice?
They have like mods. You have like different
I
voice.
don't use technology. I wouldn't know about
I didn't know there were.
Yeah, you
other
can get like different. You can
voices.
get like cool British guys and stuff, and yeah, you can get like. Yeah. I'm sure you can get like a radio show guy too. It's like turn left on L Street.
I don't.
So we should put out like a Google Maps navigation voice pack.
I don't think anyone wants
Yeah,
to hear
swing
any
a
of us.
Jimmy up here.
What street is that? It's not even. That's what it'd be.
Yeah, the one that's
Yeah.
got more trees. Turn that way.
I'd turn maybe up here.
Every third turn, it waits until you pass it, then just roast you. Fucking missed it, loser.
Missed that one too.
God, Dewey, you at this bitch, dumbass. Turn around.
You at this bitch. Not even solid directions.
If it does,
It just tries to trick that stop sign up there. That one's a decoy.
That one's a joke. I'd fly past it.
doesn't on the freeway. Well, you're fucked for at least 18 miles. That was the last exit.
Yes, hey, let's go somewhere else. Is it AM, PM? You want a hot dog?
Get me a hot. Like it won't keep working unless you buy it a hot dog.
It gives you suggestions on where to go. I don't know. Maybe go somewhere else.
That's pretty far. I don't know if your battery's gonna last. Let's go down the street.
Let's go somewhere else. Why don't you get out? I'm gonna take a nap. You're electronic. You don't need it. You're not even a living being. You're a voice recording.
It just amps up the volume and you hear snore sounds for the next 25 minutes.
Terrible design.
Hello? Shut up. I'm sleeping.
You shake it awake. Oh yeah, left on Burgleton. I think
Burglescent.
That sounds like Duane's. So when Duane, I used to drive around with Duane all the time in his old truck. We had the first Android, the economy droids.
Yeah.
The woman, whatever that navigation said, every street name so fucking bad.
Yeah.
There's a street called Willa Gillespie.
That's in the defense of the robot. That's fucking fake. That's a fake word.
Willa Gillespie. That's the name of the street. And every time it'd be like, turn left on Willa Gillespie.
Wigsby.
Yeah, you remember, right? It was like, turn left on.
Burlescent was literally Bergenson.
I wish it stuttered. I wish it actually stuttered before it.
It sounds like the way she pronounces it. It sounds like she's stuttering. Bergelson.
I think, man, I wish it stuttered. That'd be so funny. It's like, turn left on Wigsby.
I remember being in middle school when like text to speech was just starting to be a thing, and of course, being in middle school, I did the word poop with like 38 O's in it, and I cranked the volume, and it was like poo ooh 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 op.
That was a bad time to take a drink.
Killed him.
Swallowed it. Got it down. I gotta be careful. I'm gonna be spitting pretty soon. Not spitting mad rhymes either.
Spitting mad rhymes. My rhymes is crimes. I get real spicy like I'm eating these limes.
Matt's not going to be spitting rhymes either.
Easily the best. If anyone could rap out of all three of us, it's by a long shot, Matt, though, for sure, for real.
Several words.
We used to freestyle. We used to, when we were 19, when we were like 19 and 20, we used to drive around in his probe, and we would just beatbox for each other and rap, and Matt would do well, and then I would also do it.
Just make up songs, dude. If he's listening, I know he would know. Speed limit 35.
Oh, it was just based on the signs and shit we would see.
That became his favorite song for like 3 weeks.
Then, another song. One time we're driving and we saw a guy jogging way too fast, and then right behind him was a dude hauling ass on a bike. So we all just started going, dude getting chased by a dude on a bike. Dude getting chased by a dude on a bike. We just did that for way too long. Like the rest of the drive, we were all just ganging out in his fucking car doing that.
I wasn't invited on
No,
these drives.
we didn't have you go because you were too busy working at Skate World.
I took you in the probe a few times. I remember we pulled into a 7-Eleven. I think it was in Thurston. We were in the probe, which was painted like matte black, because like they were gonna paint it later and then didn't. And so
Just didn't get around to it. You want it now, I guess?
and we're getting out, and there's these two girls.
It's already
standing
primed
there,
for you.
And they're walking in, and they look at the car, and they're like, "Oh my god, are we like living in Batman times?"
Yeah, that
And
happened.
Duane, you look so fucking furious.
I forgot all about that.
Like you took it personally. I remember you just kind of muttering like Batman isn't a time, it's a setting.
That's probably exactly why I was furious. And like,
Are we
and
living?
like Batman would be rolling around in a fucking primed probe.
We living in Batman times.
Wow.
God damn it. Ah, I
Wow.
like that car. It's a fun car.
Wow. I did too. I have good memories of. I shouldn't say good memories. I'm picking good memories associated with that
There
car.
were some.
Some
existed.
some were there. Some.
Dude, I cooked a can of chili in the back of that car because it got so fucking hot. It was matte black with like all black interior, and we took it out to Redmond one time. I think Duane was there, and I just left. I took out a pot and I poured a can of chili in it, and I just left it in the back seat. And an hour later, it was like 125 degrees. That fucking worked.
Okay, I don't have any cough anymore. Almost. So I'm not at risk anymore. I don't know how much you can hear of it, but I've almost spit this out way too many times.
It's been bad. He's dying. That
So-
probe I think it was the
Yeah.
second car I owned. The first car was an automatic. It was a Nissan Maxima.
The yellow one?
Yeah, like a yellow gold. Dwayne and I got in trouble because before I had my license, my mom was like, take it around the block. And then Dwayne and I took it around the block. And then the radio, remember when that existed, was playing
The
the
what?
Metallica Meltdown.
Yep.
So we went around like 8 blocks and I got fucking chewed out for that. And I just remember being like, Mom, Metallica was on.
Yeah, it was.
Dwayne had my back.
It was the meltdown.
You don't just get out of the car. But then I had a date with a girl.
Exit life.
I had a date with a girl, and then
know,
my dad and brother
Metallica.
sold the Maxima,
It's light.
and they bought the probe.
I said light, didn't I?
You said life.
Ooh.
I'll wait until you guys.
Your
finish
story
this thing.
was. You can continue.
All right. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was rude. So disrespectful of
The
me.
Maxima was an automatic, and the probe was a manual, and I had never driven a manual, so I had like 22 hours to learn how to drive a manual before my first date with this girl. And we went on this date, and I immediately hit and killed a deer.
Oh, what?
And that she didn't think that was all that groovy.
Well, this was going pretty
I had
poorly.
no idea
and
what was
then
going. We
you're-
were driving around. It was late at night, and the deer jumps out, and I tried to swerve, but I hit the deer, and it bounded over the guardrail, and I got out, and then it was laying there dead. And then she was a native girl. She's like, "Man, I wish we had some tobacco." And I'm like, "Bitch, I don't smoke." But my headlight was fucked, and it
What
was
would you do
lying
with
there.
tobacco?
It was some native thing. I don't pretend to know cultures that aren't my own.
That's fair.
But she
Good for
wanted
you.
it, and then I was standing there looking at the deer, and she was by the car, and I swear to God, I just heard banjo music coming from the forest. So I was like, okay, the deer's dead. I gotta leave, or I don't want to get raped. I don't want to get deliveranced. I ain't ready to
That's how it
squeal
happens.
like a piggy. And then I drove her home.
How romantic.
Yeah, I nailed it. Ooh,
And
yay
you
me.
guys are still together to this day.
3 months.
They were to.
Yay!
Happily ever after.
That sounds like
That deer's dead,
almost.
though.
I don't. Almost the story of the Notebook. Almost.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's
Remember
pretty
when
close. Like 50 years later, you'll get back together, however that ends.
Yeah. No.
You'll build a house.
kill another
No.
deer?
What happens is you find out one of them has cancer, and then she die.
And it turns out the doctor who would have saved her was the deer. I have visions of a doctor saving the cancer patient, and then at the end of it, it takes his mask down and it's the deer. And then I wake up and that doctor doesn't exist.
It was a human head up to that point.
Up until, yeah, and
the
then it
mask
turns
comes
out it's a
down and
deer.
just full deer. Like,
And now she's dead, and I got to live with that. I live
what
with
a
that every
tragic
day.
movie. God, what a tragic movie.
That's some Twilight Zone shit.
And the
Yeah.
sequel takes place in Batman times.
What a good man, Probe. What a good Batman car you had. I liked that car.
It was a fun car.
That was
Got pulled over several times in it because it had some kind of leaky gasket and would just plume exhaust.
Plume.
Like for the
Nice.
first 10 or 15 minutes each day, just a massive cloud of exhaust. And I would always get pulled over for it. And I'd be like, it just
Always,
does that.
every day. You're getting pulled over every single day.
It happened a lot.
How many times?
7. I owned it for 8 days.
7? Wait, what?
Yep, 8 days. Now you don't shut up. Now you look stupid.
I'm so dumb.
I got pulled over with our buddy Skylar in the car, who had long hair at the time.
Oh,
And he
that's
was just kind of
risky.
looking at his feet. And the cop comes up and he's like, gets my ID and looks over and he's like, "Can I have your ID, ma'am?" And he looks over and
he
then
was
he
like-
died inside.
He was like, no, sorry, I'm actually, because that's his voice.
Yeah, that's actually a
If anyone
very
wants to
good
know-
Skylar Daniels.
I'm actually, I don't know, like maybe a guy or something. I don't know, maybe.
He's a great beard now, but he had a cherub-like face at the time.
He's a cutie.
He's a pretty boy.
But that's his voice exactly. Which is funny that he thought he was a. I wish he'd just spoken up. Like,
Yeah, here's my ID, officer.
man, I hope he listens to this now.
Skylar, listen to this.
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm
I don't
telling
know
him
if I.
in the podcast.
Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I like podcasts or if I like. I don't know if I want to listen to them. I don't know, like if I like them.
I feel like he would. I don't know. I haven't seen Skylar in a while.
I just said it in his voice, and that's
Oh!
the closest thing.
Thanks for liking our cast, Skylar, who's here right now.
Oh yeah, I don't. I guess yeah. Hey, yeah.
First
no problem.
guest on the show, everybody, Skylar.
It's I guess it's good to be here. thanks. I don't know if you guys have seen like this movie that I like. It was pretty good, I guess.
Tell me that's not him.
That's really good.
Skylar, I'm doing this. I do it because it's accurate.
I don't know how he doesn't just kick my ass every time I see him.
Because he's a shrimpy noodle man compared to you. You're 3 times his weight and can fold him like a
I
bendy
think
straw.
he's taller than me
Watched
now.
you fold
He's like
people.
6'1" or 2.
Is he 6'1"?
He's a big boy, and he's got a thick beard now. He's looking good.
Yeah.
I don't know why he was ever friends with me because, like you guys, I introduced myself in the worst fucking way because I was a shitbird in high school. We were going to a Korn concert. Was it you? Were you
No, but I'm just brimming.
Oh, it was
I'm
me.
bursting with Skylar and you stories to try to get out now. So get this out so
me,
I can do a one.
Me and Harrison Graham, we're going to go see Korn, and then Skylar was going to ride up with us, and it was the first time I had met Skylar. And I have no idea. I think I had watched a scene in The Venture Bros where a similar line happened.
Oh, I was there.
I walked over to... Did you go to that one?
No.
I walked over to Skylar, and I was like, what's your name? And he started to say Skylar, and I just yelled, your name is bitch, and I own you. Oh. And I walked away. Best friends, me and Skylar.
I wouldn't say best friends, but he was around you.
I don't know why anyone was around me. I sucked.
I don't know either.
And now we're together forever.
And now, continuing the podcast is
Too
me and
old to
Duane.
make.
Okay.
Too old to make new friends.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's difficult.
Yeah, high school is the only time to make new friends. When you're a kid, they're just picked by proximity. And when you're an adult, it was just people you knew at one point.
We would have made other friends if we went to college. Oh, you went to college.
I did go to college. I made friends in college.
You made some of them.
We drank a lot and got kicked out of a pizza place.
So, rewind here. Skylar
right.
stories. Okay,
I know
first of
where
all,
this is
yes. No, I'm going to tell one in specific, but I do have to bring this up. Every interaction that I can remember, we let not Skyral, excuse me.
Spiral!
And we went on Skyral.
So, the new Bethesda game.
Skyral. Elder Scrolls 9, Skyral. It's Cyrodiil and Skyrim were merged into one.
He plays a dragon with Down syndrome.
Come on. Someone's not going to say Fusro Da in the
I was
voice.
just about to. Boosro!
Oh, no. No.
Down syndrome.
Okay. Anyways,
You can be dragons if you want, Down syndrome fans. I believe in you.
we'll edit that out. But most interactions that you and Skylar had were you being terrible to him. We lived together. So me and Matt lived together at an apartment when we were 19. It was the worst. It was a 1-bedroom, but too many guys lived there.
Like 4 people at one point.
Yeah. So Skylar got kicked out of his mom's house, and so we let him live there. And, like, you were just terrible to him all the time, and it was hilarious. I remember one time he was sitting on a cooler for some reason trying to play a video game, and you thought it was real funny to run and just push him backwards off the cooler real hard. And then he'd get back up, and you'd jump up and push him back off it. So he's like, if you can imagine it, he's sitting on a cooler, and there's no back. So if you push him hard enough, he just slides off and slams onto the floor.
We didn't have chairs.
And you did it a bunch. So the first time he was like,
It was funny. Yeah, it was funny.
but then like the third time he was like,
Dude, all right, I'm getting pissed off. All right, you got to stop.
and I was like, yeah, dude, you're being a dick. But then you kept doing it. And that's where the humor comes from.
Yeah, there was a long period of time where every time me and Matt were walking by a bush, he'd push me in.
It wasn't a long time
No,
because
I
you
caught
started
on
backing
real
up
fast.
or going forward when we'd go by a bush.
We'd come up to a bush, and I'd just come to a dead stop. He's like, why are you stopping? Don't you want to keep going? And I'm like, I'll wait.
You adapted.
You adapted.
I helped you.
You learned to overcome his bullying.
Not by facing it, though.
Not by facing it, by avoiding it.
That's a life lesson.
Fuck you, dude.
The
Just
best
fuck
way,
you, man.
The best way to deal with a terrible person is to avoid them.
Don't take this. This is not good life lessons. Going back, the
Don't.
story I want to get to about you and Skylar.
Kick my ass if you meet me.
No one can, though. You're too big of a dude.
I probably can't take a punch. No one has tried.
I'd
I'd go down in a hit.
No, one time I don't like being tickled. I punched you before.
Oh, that sucked.
Yeah,
Also-
I punched you pretty hard. I don't like
I
being
didn't
tickled.
actually even tickle you. I threatened to put you on the next train to Tickletown.
Yeah.
And I turned
He didn't
around
even
to
touch
exit
you.
the room, and you punched me straight in the kidney.
One time I got
Yeah.
super drunk and I was just looking at you and I slapped you pretty hard. For no reason. It was completely unprompted. But then you slapped me back and I hit the ground real hard.
I believe
Oh
it.
no!
You're a
Remember
tiny,
that.
you're a tiny whimsical boy though.
And just
That was. I feel like that was too loud of a sound. I think it would sound like, you know, when you try to throw something like a sheet of paper or a paper towel, and you throw it real hard, but for some reason it just kind of whiffs and cascades down to the ground. That's how I imagine Duane falling to the ground. It's just kind of like seesaws as down slowly to the floor and just brushes against it.
It's like a whisper landing on a feather.
Yeah. Anyways, okay.
I'm a regular-sized man.
So, yes, the story I wanted to tell is one time when we all lived together, me, Matt, and Skylar. Matt and Skylar went to the supermarket and they're going shopping together. And Matt grabs just a block of cheese, like cheddar cheese, some kind of cheese.
Yeah, it was cheese.
And so Skylar's just like,
Oh, you probably should have got pepper jack.
and Matt's like, I don't know, I didn't really want pepper jack. And he's like,
Well, pepper jack's the best cheese. You should have got pepper jack. I don't know why you didn't get. I would have got pepper jack.
and so for the rest of the shopping trip, he's like,
Not too late to put it back and grab pepper jack. It's it's like pepper jack's the best cheese.
so he's repeating this over and over again, and I'm sure Matt is sick of it by this point. He's like, I don't want pepper jack. Just like, I don't want that cheese. Pepper jack's a type. Of course, it's good. I fucking love pepper jack.
It's the best kind of cheese.
But sometimes it's not always the best cheese for everything.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. You know, that's why there's more than one type of cheese.
They're
You know
all
what I mean?
entirely interchangeable for the type of poor 19-year-old food I was making, but still, it was a principle.
Okay, and then they get home, and Skylar's grandparents had shipped him like a fucking platter of cheeses. For some reason. I don't know why that's
like
what
a-
his grandparents sent them.
It's like a high school graduation present, I think. Just a bunch of cheese.
And so Matt
Jesus
opens the
Christ.
fridge to put the cheese away, and it's just, the fridge is full of tons of cheeses. Guess what? That aren't pepper jack. So Matt grabs a giant block of some random cheese and fucking stomps into the living room. He's like, "This isn't pepper jack! Ah! This isn't pepper jack!" Screaming at Skylar. He fucking...
You could do it.
Okay, he fucking rockets the fucking cheese into the garbage can, pulls his pants down, and rips ass on top of it. And I saw it, and a noise didn't leave my body. My feet just scoop out from under me. I laughed so hard, instead of my brain registering, this is laughter, give it a chuckle. Instead, my body just decided, you don't know how to function. And I just collapsed onto the floor and seized for about 30 minutes. That was one of the hardest times I've ever laughed in my entire life.
Oh, god damn.
Just so everyone's clear, grabbed cheese from the fridge, threw it directly in the trash can, turned around, and fucking pulled his pants down and farted on it. The series of events was too much. It was too much for my brain to process an order, to realize it was even funny. So I think I just shut down.
You just fell over. I remember looking over at you, and you grabbed your chest and fell over onto the ground.
I fell.
Silently.
Yeah, I fell. In fact, actually, I hurt my ankle because I whipped it onto a... We had like a fucking little wood stand for our toaster. I like whipped my ankle into it because my body was just like, you don't work anymore. Hey, guess what, body? That was too funny for your brain. Pass out.
That's like, you have like an arc where it's like increasing volume of laughter, but when you hit peak funny, you go silent. Like you can't laugh if it's too funny.
I think my body just seizes up.
I think one of the only other times I saw that might have been turbo mode.
Yeah, we almost told that.
Prefaced once.
We almost told that story on another episode, and is this the one where it gets told, or do we
I think
keep
it's
that?
time for turbo mode.
Is it time for turbo mode? Do you know the turbo mode story, Duane? Of course he does, because guess what? We've told this at probably every single party ever.
It's a fun fucking story.
Probably. Okay. No, I'm not going to tell it. We're going to wait for the
No.
I'm kidding. We tease. We're just new boot goofing around here. Yeah, I'll tell it. Okay. So I'm going to tell you. This needs some White Claw. I need to drink a little White Claw.
I know I've been an absolute clown and shitbird, but I'm real glad that the funniest stories that you remember were me.
They were. I'm not. I think I would say that you're the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That was rude. No.
Don't come out of any of these stories looking good.
No, and this one's gonna help. So, okay, you're gonna watch. Dwayne's just gonna like glaze over because I'm pretty sure he's heard the story like 100 times.
I've heard it a lot. It's a good story.
I was there and I still like hearing it.
That's true. Okay, so let's whip into it. Me and Matt, I think again we were 19 or 20. We were pretty young. This is what 40 years ago now.
Yeah,
40?
probably in the 20s.
Yeah.
We're outside because of the depression.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, so we were
Jazz had just hit the scene.
It was great. It was great. You know what I mean? Louis Armstrong was out there. I said that for you. I was teeing you up for it. What noise came out of you?
I'm trying to do a trumpet and I realized I can't.
Nope.
That's an elephant dying.
Pretty sure
Jazz!
No.
Jazz!
Even an elephant dying's
Oh,
more
yeah.
graceful than that.
Fuck. I'm done.
And up next, we got the newest tune from Maddie and the Jazz Boys.
That hurt.
What a great tune there. That one's called Fart Noises and Air Coming Out of Mouth. Listen up for his new album called Gasping. That for the longest time, honestly, that's what I thought my voice sounded like. When I heard recordings of my voice,
old-timey radio voice.
I was like, what the fuck? Am I just a radio announcer from the 20s? It was like regular conversation. They're like, yeah, what do you want for dinner tonight, Steven? I don't know. Let's go down there and see what's on the streets. We'll get a nice meal, maybe a McDonald's, some Burger King.
Next up, we're coming in on the 9th inning of the St. Louis Hoobastanks and the Detroit poor men who've died. The Typhoid Boys. Playing a great game of baseball.
That's how you know you can't name. That's how you know we're not all sports guys. Is you're like the Detroit pause, and me and Duane were like,
I don't know baseball. I know there's.
I'd fill it in for you.
I know there's the Yankees.
the Detroit Boyos.
Cubs.
That's
a team. Yes.
the Detroit Dancers.
Thanks, Duane.
The Detroit.
the Redskins.
That's racist.
That was very racist.
That's football. Also,
Name one. Actually, you know what? Before we move on, name one baseball team.
Cubs.
Ah, good
Name
for
a
you.
different one.
Name one more.
The Red Sox.
Nice,
Fuck,
dude.
you got it.
Name one more.
We'll get through all of them.
Let me give you a hint. New York.
The Yankees. I mean,
Nice.
he already said it. I was trying
One
to avoid
more.
that.
Name one more.
I think they just rotate and play against each other.
That's all. That's gotta be all
That's
three.
Change shirts. We got a new game tomorrow. We gotta
Shirts are
pretend
changing.
to.
Davy Jones, you're playing on the Cardinals tomorrow. Change your shirt. You're batting for the other team, and I mean you're also playing for another sports team.
The Ducks.
After you get done plowing that fella, change your shirt and you're up to bat.
You gotta pretend to be from Boston tonight.
Yeah. Okay. We've done enough.
What happened? Where did we?
Okay.
How did we get here?
I'll tell turbo mode. We're gonna glaze
Oh, yeah.
past. I'll tell turbo mode. Okay, me and Matt were 19 or 20. I'll do it fast. I'm dragging it out, and I just need to tell it. We were 19 or 20. We were hiking on a place called Spencer's Butte. It's a place in a town near us. You can hike up to the top. You can see the whole town. It's pretty cool.
Beautiful.
It's very cool. I go there every other weekend or so now. I go there a lot because it's real cool. It's good exercise. You know what I mean? I can get up that motherfucker in 15 minutes. Dude.
Gross.
Yeah. No, gross.
Yeah.
Why?
It's disgusting.
Not hauling ass.
Yeah, anything I can't do grosses me out.
That's fair. Yeah, that's very fair.
Tell your fucking story.
Okay, so we're going up that, and we chose to go up. There's two paths you can go up. There's one that's more leisurely and takes a little bit longer. There's one that's very vertical and it's much more difficult, but it gets you up there faster. And we decided to take the hard way up, and we had just stayed up, I think, the whole night, maybe.
Yeah, we did that a lot.
We did dumb shit a lot, like stay up all night or stay up too late. For some reason, we both were like up at like 6 a.m. and we're like, hey.
Yeah, we were 19 and hangovers didn't exist yet. And I think I woke up at like 10 and you were on the couch. I'm like, hey, you want to go up a mountain?
That sounds about right. I think it was earlier than 10 though.
It was gross o'clock.
Because but so I was like, yeah, man. And so we get there and I'm for some reason super energized. We're about halfway up. And I'm like hauling ass up there. I'm like fucking taking lunges, and I'm leaving Matt in the dust. You know, it's true. I'm trying to tell it accurately. Matt gave me a look that was like, "Did you need to put that detail in there?"
Yeah.
But I'm like hauling ass up there, and I'm taking big strides. And I look back, and I'm like a good distance in front of Matt. And there's like these somewhat like natural steps. It's like dirt and there's like rock. There's like jagged rocks that are kind of like steps that you can take up. And they're like flat, a couple feet. And I look back and I'm pretty ahead of Matt. And Matt's like, oh yeah? You think you're so cool? Turbo mode. And he lunges to take a step and fucking rips ass mid-step and falls directly onto his face. And then rolls down part of the mountain a couple times. And what happened again to me. So if anyone that doesn't fucking can't really see it, fucking Matt just goes turbo mode, flops on his fucking face and rolls down a couple steps. It was fucking the comedic timing was unreal. And what happened again was my brain, instead of going, what a funny moment, let's throw out a couple ha-has for this, it just was like, does not compute, and my legs just flopped out from under me. I don't know why that happens to me. My brain just shut down, my legs didn't move, and I just fell onto the ground. I laughed, and it was way too long. I was worried, actually. About a few minutes in, it had to have been 10 minutes. I'm holding my chest, and I feel like I'm looking at you worried, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to stop laughing. And that's when it gets serious real quick because I'm starting to get worried.
You can't breathe.
The problem is with me, I think the way my brain does it is I keep, it's almost like I take a little video of it and then I keep replaying it. So all I kept doing is as I would even start to get myself together and come back from the laughing fit, I would just replay you again going turbo mode, flop, roll. And I would just replay it over and over in my head, and I kept laughing. And you know what's funny is this was almost 10 years ago now. And I can tell the story now without laughing, but it took me 5 or 6 years of telling that story a couple times a year. Mm-hmm. I tell it at family dinners. All right? Like, I tell that story every chance I get.
Your parents and mom's just like, we know Matt shit his pants and fell down.
No, there's actually a few stories that I tell. I tell the fart on cheese story. I tell the Matt farting and flopping down a mountain. I tell turbo mode story. And I tell Duane shitting jello story.
Duane shitting jello is
the one from episode 1 that we've all heard. I tell that story at my family dinners. Okay?
I didn't have to tell you that. Now everybody knows.
And it's fun. Everyone is having fun.
You've made, Duane.
It wasn't a fun time for me.
Yeah, it wasn't.
For us.
You know what, though? You looked shredded.
Yeah, I did.
So good.
You look shredded, dude.
You look like a 6-pack with 2 Vienna sausages at the bottom.
Sounds delicious. But no, you've created. The thing is, you've created a moment that's literally burned into my. I wouldn't say burned because that makes it sound bad, but you literally have instilled a memory in me literally forever. I don't think that's the cool. You know what I think is cool as shit is that you have no fucking idea what's gonna be just in your brain forever. I don't think you knew that you shart and jello was
No.
going to be a memory
Didn't
that I
think that would
remembered
be
for the
the
rest of my
one.
life. Yeah, but I do.
Thought it might have been picking you up in a leather jacket, smoking.
Oh, that did happen
That's pretty
too.
cool, too.
Did we tell that already on the podcast? One time, okay, this is a good story too. I've told a lot of stories, and I feel like I'm hogging a lot of it.
There's a lot of good stories.
But the thing is, it's good because it's you guys.
yeah, you
and
were the
they've
victim
happened.
of a lot of our
They've
tales.
happened. One time back, so a lot of these stories happened when we were like 20, which is funny. But I was 19 or 20. We were pretty young. And I was working at Walgreens at the time. And when we closed the store, you all had to leave together as like a safety thing. So we'd leave with like a not a large crew, but there's a handful of people we'd be leaving with at the end of the night. So we exit the building, and my manager's locking up, and I'm there with all my coworkers. And as we leave the building, one of my coworkers, she was like, "Who is that?" And we all look over, and Duane's truck is pulled up. He's outside in a leather jacket, sunglasses, leaned against his car, smoking a cigarette. And he looks up at me, and he's like, "Fuck, what did you say?" He's smoking a cigarette. You look up at me, and you shout across the parking lot,
You need a ride, little mama? I parked sideways in front of the doors.
Yeah. But you were...
And it was still running.
It was still running. He was far enough away that you had to shout across the parking lot that it was audible. He goes, "You need a ride, little mama." And so I play into it. I go, "I'll see you guys later." And I run away from them. I run over to the car. And then I run up to Duane, and you don't look at me. You just go, "You want to go buy some weed?"
Was that really that night?
Yeah.
I'd never smoked weed
Yeah.
before that
Oh,
night.
fuck. Yes.
I'd
And then
never.
we
That
went-
was the first time. I just
Guess
decided.
what?
Clapping.
Guess what?
I don't know.
They're peaking. I can watch my waveforms. My clap are just getting there. Okay, that's the funny thing is it comes into another story. Okay,
Damn it.
God damn it. Okay, I'm getting excited. About all these stories. So we go. We go and we buy weed. I'm not going to say the name of the guy just because at the time it was illegal to buy weed.
Doug Burt Giftum.
It was Doug Burt Greftum. What was that? Yeah, it was Doug Burt. So we went to Doug Burt's house, and it was. I'll whisper it to you.
Remember that time you guys bought weed from Doug Burt?
It was Doug Burt.
Yeah,
Dwayne
it was
knows.
Doug Burt.
I'm not going to whisper it because I'm having a hard time remembering his actual name, and it's fine.
Because of all the weed.
It's because of all the weed. But no, we went to his house and we bought weed, and that's the moment when me and Duane are like, "Well, wait, like, are we gonna smoke this?" We were at his house and we're like, he was like, "All right, I think he asked us, like, how you guys gonna smoke this?" And we're just like, Duane's just like, "I don't know, I don't know, we're gonna figure it out." And I was like, "I know how to make I could crush a soda can." Because I'd learned how to.
Classic.
I knew because I had crushed a Pepsi can and I made a Pepsi bong when I was 16 in the movie theaters before I went and watched a Borat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good time. But so he was like, "Hey, like I'll make you guys a gravity bong or a water bong out of a Dasani." He was so out of a Dasani bottle. So this guy Doug Burt made it for us there. He's like, "I'll make it for you, but you got to smoke it with me." That was the deal. And so we smoked them at his house. And I hadn't smoked weed in a couple years, and I hadn't smoked a weed in this capacity before.
I never have.
But we fucking got destroyed. Like so much, I coughed so much that I was worried for my lungs. I was worried for my health. I was like, I'm going to have to call the hospital. I'm coughing so much. But I recover from it. Duane does the same, coughs a bunch, and then he gives us the rest of the weed. And he's like, Doug Burt's like, "See you guys later." And we're just like, "All right, let's leave," because we feel fine at the moment.
Safety.
We're like, "Let's drive home." So we get in Duane's truck, we drive out, and then we realize like we barely know how to get out of this neighborhood. And that's when we're like, we're driving, and then we go, we start driving down a street, and we're like, "Oh no, that's a dead end." And so we see, because there's a wall. It's like a dead end. So we keep driving, and then all of a sudden, that's when we realize we're fucking high as shit. The wall flattens out in front of our
we
eyes.
actually stopped there for a couple
stopped.
minutes, and we're just like, "This is the way we came."
This is
This
a dead
is the
end.
way we
And
came.
then all of a sudden, we're like, simultaneously for both of us, the wall flattened out into a street,
Because
and
we
we're
both
like,
started yelling.
and we're both like, holy shit! What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? That was did you see it? That was a wall! And then Duane looks at me and goes,
Hey, I'm a wall. Just fucking kidding. I'm a street.
and I laughed hysterically because for some reason Duane, who was now high out of his fucking mind at this point, decided that's what he thought was funny. And he sees me laughing and decides he can get another one out of me.
Hey, I'm a wall. Just kidding. I'm a fucking street.
He tries to get another one, and I'm just laughing. And then we're laughing, and then Dwayne's like, you want to get McDonald's? And I'm like, fucking of course I want to get McDonald's. So we're driving. Typical high shit happens. We see raindrops in the rearview mirror and think it's police officers.
Classic.
Because
The whole time.
Those fucking cops. Those cops. So we pull through and we go to the McDonald's drive-through, and we get. Let me see if I can get close to our order. Okay. I think we get.
We ordered like $30 worth of food.
I think we get like. I think this is each. We get like 4 McDoubles each, 3 McChickens each, and three
nuggets.
3 or 4 McNuggets and drinks. So did you get that? Each.
Yeah.
So 4 McDoubles each, 8, 3 McChickens each, 6, 4-piece nuggets. So it's already way too much food, right? So we just pull into the parking lot and we eat all of it. And then Duane goes, you want to go back through? And so we pull back up and we go back through and we get the same order minus just 1 each. So it was 3 McDoubles, 2 McChickens, 3 4-pieces.
Jesus.
And we eat all of it in the parking lot again.
The monsters.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? Story's not over. All right? So we get back to his house and we go, hey, like, we're higher than we've ever been in our fucking lives. Now's the time to watch Tim and Eric. And we did, and it was fucking fantastic. But in the middle of it, Dwayne's like, you're still hungry, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm still hungry. And he's like, I can't drive somewhere. I don't know what the fuck is happening. And I was like, we can walk. So we walk to the store, and it feels like it takes, I don't know, fucking 3 hours.
It's 200 feet away from Duane's
It's a
house.
4-minute walk.
It's a 4-minute walk. It's
walking slowly.
It's like maybe a block. It's like one of those longer blocks. You know what I mean? Like it's not a full 2 blocks. It's just one of those blocks that's kind of long because
It's
there's a
one
Papa's
street over.
Pizza. There's a Papa's Pizza lot, and that's why it takes a little longer to get it. But so we walk to the store and we go in there, and I'm just getting everything. I'm like fucking Charleston Chew, fucking peach rings, Mountain Dew. I'm getting everything that you think you'd want when you're high as shit. And so does Duane. Just tons of candy and shit. And I don't really remember much of what happened there, but I remember just feeling like I don't know what's happening. I'm just going to grab all the candy, you know? And so I get up to the counter, and I hadn't yet had to interact with a human being at that capacity of being high before until that moment. And it was literally like the parents on fucking Charlie Brown. This guy's talking to me. He's like, and I'm looking at him, and I'm just like, my brain's just like, what facial expression would a human being make at this moment? So I'm like, you can't see me, but I'm just like, ah. Yeah.
yeah.
And he's saying stuff. I'm like, yeah, man. Totally. Yep. And he's just like pointing at shit and saying stuff. And I'm just like, yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. And he like, I don't know what he's talking about, but he ends it by saying something like, yeah, man. And then something. And then I do it too. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, yeah, man. Bye. And he's just like, at that point, he realized he's like, okay, something's up. So I left. And me and Duane walked another, what felt like 3 hours back. And we went into the room and I ate every piece of that candy. And I remember thinking to myself, I felt it. I was laying on my tummy on his bed, and I was just eating candy. And I felt my stomach pushing myself up higher and higher off his bed. I didn't care, though. I was like, I need more.
Those fucking poor
Yeah.
76 station employees
Yeah.
that we tormented.
Yeah.
Fucking Duane and I,
Yeah.
we were walking around because it was like almost a strip mall.
Yeah.
It had like a Wearmart Foods or something.
Wearmart.
It might have been
They're
like
walking
shout
behind
out.
like an Albertsons or something, I think.
This story was that little strip mall at the corner of 42nd. We were behind it, and we found an old box for a big TV.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Yeah.
hey,
We're going to take that.
we could fit in this box, as young people are wont to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, how are we going to see? So Duane took out a house key and just carved a big eye slit in the side of it, and we cut some armholes, and both of us got inside this box. I couldn't see shit. Duane was the only one who could see, and he could see about 10 degrees in front of him. So we were just like walking back and forth across Main Street, which is 4 fucking lanes, and like a bunch of people dying.
It's easy the busiest street in town.
Right
by
there.
Far.
We're just crossing it back. We went to like Finn's because someone we knew was working there. And we did, and then we walked into 76 in our box. We went over and like we got some Mountain Dews or some shit. And we go up to the front. I can't see a fucking thing.
You
I'm
do
just
that in
following
2019,
Dwayne.
you get kicked out.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah,
no,
you
no,
can't
not
do
anymore.
that today. It was a better time for young people.
Let's get over that hump. You're an old man. Keep
Yeah,
going.
we're
Keep going. I like the story.
my lawn. But god damn, we were just cruising like we should have been hit by cars. I don't know why I trusted Duane so much. I think there was a weird trust thing between us. Shouldn't have been there. Poked you right in the eye.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
You said, hey, don't blink. And then I didn't. And you shoved your finger right in my eye.
You dick.
That
How-
was
it
the
was a
story.
trust building exercise.
He's like, hey, Duane, you want to see something cool? Don't blink. And I'm like, okay, even though he was going like he was going
I
to
had
go
the
up
fingers.
my eyes. But I thought he had a trick up his sleeve.
I did.
I don't know how I didn't blink right before you got there, but I didn't. Your fingers just went straight into my eyeballs.
I felt your eyelids try and close around my fingernails.
Fingernails.
Well, because the pads hit his eyeballs, and then he tried to close, and it closed.
You
up.
monster.
We were trying to break into our old middle
fucking
school
psychopath.
because we're trying to break into the middle school. Steven, listen to why.
Hey man.
We were breaking into the middle school because they just put up a new trail for some like librarian who died, and it was like the Mary Librarian Trail. So we made a big sign that said Boba Fett Trail.
Oh, you were there with...
It was you and me. I was
I
the
forgot.
only one who was there.
I forgot that it was you and me who did that. I remember making the sign and doing that.
Yeah, we had to jump a fence, and then we stuck up the Boba Fett
And then
Trail
like
sign.
the people who worked at the school just rolled up while we were climbing back over.
Yeah.
And we were just like, hey.
We're
and
kids.
ran off.
We're kids. Laws don't matter.
Kind
And
of.
to get there, I had to do a
Kind of.
bunch of trust building exercises with Duane, like when he was riding on the handlebars of a bicycle. I didn't think this was going to go down like it did, Duane. Give me some slack. We were cruising into it was like corner market, generic place.
It was my bike.
Where they sold,
we only
like-
had one bike.
They
so
sold
one of
like
us had to
knives
ride on
and
the
cigarettes
handlebars.
and candy sometimes. We had one bike. So he was on the handlebars, and we dip into the parking lot. It's kind of a little steep little drop into the parking lot.
Gravel parking lot.
Yeah, of course. So I just jump off the back of the bike. I think the he's gonna notice and put his feet down. We're gonna have a ha-ha. Duane goes 50 fucking feet on the front of this bike, sitting on the handlebars. Nobody on the back. So I'm like, he's got to turn around. So I start waving, and he turns around. I remember you turn around, you see me waving, and then I just see you see me waving, this look on your face, and it just crumples. That's when the myth that's like when Wile E. Coyote notices he's gone over the
he's,
cliff
over
edge
the
and there's
cliff.
no
No,
gravity.
I saw I was about to hit a car.
Yeah, you
and
were.
I had to end it.
You just had to abort.
No, I didn't notice he was off the bike, though, until I looked back.
It was a science experiment.
I looked back
Fuck
because
you.
we
You
were
made it
getting-
so
I was
far.
getting close to the car.
You. Fuck you, man.
Science. Did you
Man.
know that could happen before
Yeah.
I discovered it?
My hands got pretty scuffed up.
It's the
but it was
Edwards
all good.
effect, I think, is what I'm calling it now.
You know, I gotta. Speaking of the Edwards effect, there's no transition. How long? What are we at now, though?
Hour 10.
Do we need to wrap this up?
I don't know. Do we?
I think-
Let's go look at all the fan emails we've got.
Oh,
It's
looks like we
none.
got one from Michael right there.
We got one from SoundCloud
One
saying,
from Michael.
Let's give him a round of
Michael,
applause.
yeah.
Nice job.
Good transition for Michael.
Dude, nice. Michael, everyone appreciates you so much.
We love you, Michael.
How many days till Halloween now?
You're going to make me look that actually up.
Yeah, we need to get this out of here. But the reason is, I gotta pee so bad. You know, you're just hurting my bladder at this point.
Well, that's your problem. You should.
It's exactly my problem.
You should have gone before the cast.
did.
Hey, it's fucking 69 days. Yeah. 69.
Ooh, everyone.
Mutual oral sex till Halloween. Woo! Woo! God, you
Audible.
looked at me like I actually hit you.
Audible. Yeah, it was just. If an eye roll could have been my whole face.
They did a 360. I watched them go up and then come from the bottom.
Dwayne.
Turn your phone off.
Fucking
you
disrespect.
It was
slut.
just a
Dude.
vibrate.
Yeah, the whole table felt it.
69.
Give it up for 69.
Do the monster mash. That could be interpreted sexually.
It could really.
If you want
Mashing
to
monsters.
tell us stories about how you 69'd, DanceSharkPodcast@gmail.com.
No.
If you want to tell stories about how you started having sex when I was still in your closet, DanceSharkPodcast
That's
at
a- Very
gmail.com.
specific request.
It's happened.
We don't need to get into it.
We don't. Sorry.
We'll get into it maybe
Sorry,
in later
Sam and Bile.
episodes. We've only, you know what I mean? Like,
Bigfoot update.
Yeah!
why are you doing this to me?
Bow down a Bigfoot. Bow and down a
Bigfoot.
update. Bow to Bigfoot. Oh, date.
That should actually just be the outro. That should be the outro.
There's no Bigfoot news. He's out there, but you guys can't get pictures of him.
What a fucking surprise. Huh?
I read a bunch of good
Surprise
Bigfoot
every week
stories.
to me, Steven.
Oh,
It's
no,
a
there was
surprise
one.
every week.
There was one. A very drunk man, I have to assume, was just shooting over people's tents in a state park in Montana because he said he saw the big man. He didn't go to jail, though.
I thought
But
this-
like 3 or 4 times he woke up some campers just shooting around their tent because there's a big face out there.
Until you said Montana, I thought this was just going to be a story about you.
No, they didn't shoot at him. They didn't have guns in Oregon.
That's true.
Steven's dying. Hey, Duane, take us out with a non-copyrighted song.
A non-copy?
I think we're
Yeah.
good here. I think we're good. I think this is...
Not
Nice.
train. Whoa, whoa.
I see the bad moon rising.
No, you fuck. That's because that's
I
God.
see.
That's John Fogerty.
No, I only did
What
a...
do you mean, did John Fogerty do the Dance Shark outro?
Yes.
Dwayne, I don't know if something's wrong with my ears. It just sounds like you do the Dance Shark outro exactly every time.
Down, 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 down.